Are you wearing a mask? Are those that you've been dealing with wearing a mask? Are you being called to be authentic? Are you observing the ego in others that you were dealing with? I feel like our message today has something to do about being your most authentic self. And so I'll be sharing divine guidance with you guys through messages that I receive through spirit communication. Sometimes I feel it, I sense it, I know it, and then I just pick it up. Okay, so spirit works for me to share messages with you. All right, so let's call in our team. Let's ask the angels, saints, ancestors, and spirit guides into our space for divine guidance for our highest and greatest good. We are surrounded in divine white light, and so it is. All right, the many masks, right? The many masks that we wear, right? The many versions of us in this lifetime that we create so that we can like just exist. Okay, so I feel like you could be someone who's, you know, had to remove their masks in your authentic energy. Okay, so maybe you're showing others just what that looks like. Okay, maybe you were surrounded by a group that even your family, friends, coworkers, where, you know, there was a lot of mask wearing, and I feel like you've had to take on, you know, a journey that requires you to be your authentic self, and as a result, like, it could be causing like opposition. All right, you could be dealing with challenges, people like butting heads. All right, there's this understanding that, like, you know, you do have this ability to connect. I feel like it's ancestral. I feel like you ground and you anchor and you connect with benevolence. Okay, I feel like what's really important here is this like point of view, all right, of self-empowerment. Even there's this like eagle eye, there's this higher perspective, and there's this sovereignty. Okay, you're in your sovereignty. You may be challenged because you are choosing to be in your sovereign energy. Therefore, you're not easily able to be controlled or manipulated or gaslit. I'm getting that, like, you can see through these things now. All right, I feel like the turmoil is over. All right, I feel like there's stuff that was like under the surface that could be coming to the surface. I feel like there's a storm and it could be brewing. All right, I do have the Ouroboros. This talks about a cycle, a death and rebirth process. Okay, it's like, careful, there's sharks in the water. All right, it's like, look at all the different levels here, all the different dimensions, all the different like archetypes here. Even I'm seeing like the ultimate predator, and then there's this, like, this predator exists within some other type of container, and then there's this boat and it's like in rough waters and it's trying to sail to safety, yet it doesn't have the awareness of what lies beneath. All right, woof, authenticity coming up again. Guidance, direction from the Most High. Okay, this is tapping into higher wisdom, higher knowledge. Okay, seeing things from a higher perspective, able to see this in its form, like in the sense of like there's an ability to see through all of these illusions. Okay, and it's as a result of some sort of abilities that are here. Okay, I feel like you have this ability to connect. Okay, so you may be asked to kind of like go within for the guidance instead of like looking everywhere else for it. So that's pretty awesome. Let's check that out. I wanted to look up this guidance. It says, show me the way, be the lighthouse that illuminates my path. So this is you allowing. Okay, this is you allowing this to play out in your life. It's like getting out of the way, and there's this kindness, this benevolence. Even though you feel opposition, sometimes you surrender it to spirit, you surrender it to the Most High. I'm getting, speak to me through the words of the humble and wise. Speak to me through goosebumps on my skin when I hear the truth. Speak to me through synchronicity and chance. They say the real teacher lies within. Sometimes that teacher reveals all of the answers, And sometimes the teacher shows me how to feel lost. Sometimes I just have to own that I have no idea what I am doing and humbly seek guidance. After all, we're all just learning. The teaching is the teacher. For every door that I wish to open, there is a key. Perhaps that key is hidden within me, or perhaps I need to search for one who holds it. Okay, not always are we the key holder. One who has already unlocked that door and can show me how to navigate what is inside. Okay, you could really strongly identify with that energy. All right, I love that. I wanted to look up the turmoil one, which is number 18, breaks down to a 9. Okay, I have the waters rise, the sails bend, with open eyes we witness waves forming towers, stirring the deep. In the calm waters, the boat sways gently as it glides towards its destination. When the waves are high and the storm hits hard, the waters churn, threatening to capsize the ship. When chaos tests my limits, I have the opportunity to face the uncomfortable parts of myself that rise up when I am thrown into the deep water. We need clarity, resilience, and strength in our sails to steer the ship through turbulent waves. The reality is there are big storms brewing down here on the planet Earth, and there are a lot of opportunities to freak out. The stormy seas are the training ground for compassion. They give us the chance to see and accept the darker aspects of ourselves, to heal and to move forward with greater awareness. Triggers are an invitation to get curious, mostly about you. What are the unmet needs that are speaking through a reactive behavior? Can you stay present when the shadow is ready to bite? Wow. Okay, got some big messages there. Let's get like 3 more cards and then we'll go into the tarot. I'm also getting like, you're not somebody that backs down from a challenge. Sometimes, you know, you're having to pick your battles. I feel like you operate in a space of integrity, okay? I feel like you understand like the connectedness that is present here. I feel like this talks about a compass. Okay, and then we have alignment in the center here. Okay, so there's a lot of like adapting, pivoting, shifting, moving, coming together, like tapping into energy that is present, but it may be in a different way. Okay, so there's a need to, and then there's boundaries and protection here. We'll get more on that alignment. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like all the colors of the chakras, and so it's kind of like aligning with your higher self. You may have felt like you were like contortioned into like weird positions, but it was necessary for your alignment, okay? There's that authenticity again. It's like time to like stop pretending is what I'm getting. Like let people see the true you is what I'm getting. There's this wanderer energy. Look at how cool this is. This is like about freedom, okay? That you are a sovereign being here having an earthly experience, and the control, the machine, if you will, you know, maybe that's where the challenge and opposition lies for you, is that you're no longer subscribing to, you know, the way others want you to exist. I feel like you're now determining how you are going to show up and exist in your most authentic energy. Came out officially. Thank you, Spirit. And then I have, yeah, the boundaries. Look at this. Oh. All right, so we're going to get a bit more info on this. Let's talk a little bit about this alignment. Okay, alignment. Okay, it talks about bring your attention to your breath. Feel it take you into your center. Let it scan your physical body. It knows what parts you need to soften and what needs to be strengthened. Okay, let the breath move through your emotional field, awakening what could be sleeping. Passing through the landscape of your mind, let the breath show you how you are obsessing over something. You are the agent of your own frequency. When you do not have order within, you do not have clarity to speak and act in ways that create harmony in the world. When you are anchored in your center, you become a magnet, and all the elements around you seek to find a balance. Notice all the threads that you're pulling you out of your center and start to weave them back in and come home to your breath. Beautiful. One of the next card I got was Kali. Okay. and the card says liberation. It says Kali, being liberated. All right, so this is an energy wide-eyed. She holds the sword of divine knowledge and the severed head of illusion. All right, she's overwhelming force of divine love who draws the veils to reveal that all things are temporary. Beyond this physical form, we are pure energy and consciousness. Bold in fear, she cuts the head from our false identity, awakening us through divine destruction. Her darkness is that of ultimate void, into which we may drown our separate self. She is the power that dismantles our limiting beliefs and stories we create about who we are and how the world works. She arrives to lovingly demolish all that stands in the way of your liberation. All right. That which comes into being must also pass away. Okay. That which comes into being must also pass away. Okay. The Ouroboros. We cannot hold on to that which is temporary. We can only live in awe of the gift of life. If you release all of your concepts of who you are, or who you've been, or what you've experienced, what remains? Empty yourself completely and become aware of that which cannot be taken away. Wow. Then we have authenticity. The messages are amazing. Kindness comes in the simplest of ways. Sharing what we have without needing something in return. Helping in whatever way we can without trying to fix anything. Being transparent in our actions, free from ulterior motives, doing what we see needs to be done, okay, without requiring recognition. By being a channel for kindness, I become a safe space for others to be. When I allow my roots to grow deep and entwine with yours, we become stronger together. That's the benevolence. Isn't that awesome? We're all intertwined. I love that. All right. Okay. When I let go of the idea of who I think I should be, I rest in the knowing of who I truly am. I am the one holding the mask, for whom I am wearing it, and why. What parts of myself do I feel that I need to hide away? How am I censoring my beliefs or emotions to keep others comfortable? Oof. How am I submitting to social expectations that no longer serve me? In what ways do I judge others for the way that they live their lives? Is being falsely accepted being better than being authentically rejected? Authenticity is contagious. When I am radically honest in my expression, I invite others to accept me exactly as I am. But what has to happen first is that I need to accept me exactly how I am. And then I can invite others to accept me as I am. When I let down the masks that cover my real face, I give others the opportunity to know my true nature. It's like walking your talk. Ah, I love that. Okay, the last one of this deck is boundaries. All right, so this one talks about protection. Okay. Is this shell made from light, from flames, or from stones? Where I call you in to meet me, or where I remain alone? It's almost like walking through a portal, access to a portal. Where is my edge? The border between where my yes ends and my no begins. If I do not show you how to treat me, how will you know what my true needs are? My boundaries are not static. They are alive and adjusting to fit my experience in each moment. Rather than being the point at which I push life away, my boundaries can be the place where I am willing to meet life. They can create a safe container for me to define what is truly right for me. Yet, if I never reach out beyond my comfort zone, these borders place a limit on my potential for growth. Where are the holes in my field? How do I state my no? And is it being heard? Am I able to create firm boundaries which protect me from harm while remaining open to receive all the good energy that is available to me? Wow. Powerful. All right, we're gonna get some tarot with this. Okay, we're just gonna do a little card pickup over here. If we need to refer, we will. Again, this deck is the Shadows of Light. Okay, I'm gonna do a little tarot here. I've already shuffled, we're ready to go. All right. How can we help our beautiful channel close the past cycles so that we can focus on doing and being something better in this world? How can we contribute to the betterment of our experiences here on Earth? Seven of Swords. Okay. It's like release your false beliefs. Okay? It's like putting the past behind, right? And then I have an Ace of Wands. It's like starting fresh, starting new, creating what you desire, not what you don't desire. It's like what you focus on is how you create. Beliefs make manifest. Okay? I have a Knight of Swords in reverse. Upright, it looks like this. Okay? And then we have a Knight of Swords in the reverse. This can represent those that may have affected your life in some way, that may have created some sort of imbalance. There's a need to see the situation for what it truly was and how the experience truly served you. It's about the higher perspective here. Seeing someone's true character. They may have been wearing the masks with the Seven of Swords. I'm getting like there was something here that, you know, was as a result of something that was unfair, unjust, maybe even bullying, maybe even being attacked in some way, feeling like your point of view doesn't matter, or what you're saying isn't important, or what you're saying is false. Okay? I feel like what you're here to create, there is this, you know, we saw this card of challenge. Maybe what you do is you challenge the false narratives that are here. You might be able to see through these illusions here and paint a picture in a different way. And I'm getting like there could be opposition when it comes to this and what you're doing and what you're creating. But I feel like you're doing it anyway. I'm getting that like what you're doing is like empowering yourself, and through that you're empowering other people. And maybe that is what is creating some sort of upset, because you're the one in the energy of authenticity. You're in the energy of liberating yourself from these false narratives. I feel like you're receiving guidance, okay? And as a result, you are getting direction on how best to, you know, process through your cycles here in life. You understand that in order to get on the other side, you had to go through some sort of storm which could represent some sort of like initiation for you. I feel like it was for the sake of alignment here. And it's important you do have boundaries when it comes to your energy. There is something that is coming to an end. So this could represent, you know, outside influences, or this could be you had to go through some sort of massive change in order for you to have the stronger boundaries, in order to find your center and be in alignment. Let's see where this is going here. Four of Swords, a King of Wands. So there is a need for somebody to kind of see things from a place of clarity. Maybe there's some sort of illusion that they're still connected to. They could be operating from a place of ego as well. King of Wands is also taking inspired action and getting it done energy. So we'll see what else is here. There's, you know, a need to reflect on how things have played out. Maybe this is you reflecting, or I'm picking up on energy that you might have, you know, liberated yourself from, okay? I'm getting that there was manipulation here. There was pain here. There was suffering here. And this could be a time for reflection and healing. I feel like there is this energy of watching, observing, researching, looking things up. So this could be, like there could be something that you're doing that you have created as like a revenue stream of for you. There's something that you are attracting into your reality. And I feel like you've had your own challenges in life, right? You've gone over this mountain, okay? So there's this like wounded warrior energy here too, okay? With the Nine of Wands and then the Four of Pentacles, all right? Someone is holding on and resisting change. There is this like loss of stability and security here, not making wise investments, okay? So I feel like there's something that is watching you, all right? In some capacity. I feel like there is this fresh start, new beginning, opportunity. This could represent like a new contract coming in for you as a result of you being in your authentic energy, having strong boundaries, being in alignment. I feel like whatever storm you went through, it literally initiated you by fire in some way. You could be speaking truth, and maybe there's this energy that, you know, there's competition or some sort of opposition to what you speak, what you say, what you create, what you do. All right. With this Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like someone is very much attached to the material aspects of their life, and as a result it's created some sort of like putting them in a difficult position. There's like healing needed too. So this could be as a result of like not making wise investments and then putting themselves in a position of disadvantage where they may have thought like there was some sort of advantage at some time. I'm getting like no longer are they in a position of advantage. There also could be this energy of like wanting to take advantage, okay? Wanting to gain access to something, wanting to lie, deceive, betray, okay? Right out of the gate, right? It's almost like telling you what you want to hear so that they can kind of like get back into your energy, so that they can kind of like have some sort of input to what you create, almost to the point of so that there's this like reversal, right? Not being empowered, all right? So either they're not empowered at this time, or they're trying to create some sort of influence over your life. I feel like that's why it's really important that you're in your authentic energy. It's also important that you allow Kali to clean out whatever needs to be cleaned out when it comes to this opposition. I feel like you are self-empowered. You're in this sovereign energy, all right? Four of Wands, like you've reached a milestone. You've reached some sort of level of success, okay? You could have had a commitment at one point with this past person or past energy. This could be a brother, a father, a friend, an old business partner. This could be an old lover, could be family. I mean, I'm getting family too. There's this like reaping what you sow energy here. And then there's this like, how would that apply to me? Like, what did I do? Like, someone doesn't believe in that. Okay. And there's this like Five of Cups in the reverse. It's like healing from what may have been some sort of disservice to you. I feel like it was empowerment. It was alignment. It was to ignite your fire, your passion, your purpose, okay? I feel like this was a catalyst for your growth, okay? This could have been what created, you know, a lot of strength and confidence in you. I feel like otherwise, you know, there might have not been what you needed in order to get where you need to be. Something, it was almost like a swift kick in the you-know-what. Maybe you were someone who needed a swift kick in the you-know-what. Okay, there's Nine of Swords here. So someone is like in mental anguish here over someone doing better on the other side of this dynamic. All right, I feel like there's no love lost here. There might have been at one point, but I'm getting emotionally, there's been moving on. And I'm getting like someone is up at night thinking about someone else being in your energy. So they could be very much like, I didn't see that in them. I didn't know they could do that. Like, I totally underestimated them. And now like, this is my worst fears. It's like someone's worst fears are coming true. I feel like they're observing you from afar. I feel like they want to somehow have influence over what plays out in your life. But I'm getting like, they're holding on to the past version of you. They're holding on to the material aspects of life. That is their priority. They've made really bad investments and they're finding themselves, you know, left out in some sort of like despair, like, you know, feeling like overwhelmed by their emotions. Okay, someone's very overwhelmed by their emotions. This is coming in fast for those of you that are attracting in a partner of some kind, love or career or friend. I feel like your business, if you have one, is going to be skyrocketing. I feel like things are really going to pick up a bit. Okay, so just kind of be patient and let things come towards you. Don't chase, you attract if you're feminine. And then if you're a masculine, then go after what you want. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? All right, so I have King of Pentacles. I have the Lovers here. Everybody has a choice in love, okay? I'm getting somebody made a lot of bad decisions when it comes to their romantic life. How they show up in relationships with other people. They've made a lot of bad decisions. Seven of Swords. Those could be consequences, conflicts, contracts. Okay, someone could find themselves in several karmic contracts that they now have to resolve before moving on. Okay, I feel like there is this energy of working hard towards something that is a skill, a strength, having that leap of faith and creating from the place of love. Okay, this is you like taking a leap of faith here. What's this leap of faith? I feel like you're going to be leaving the pain and suffering behind. I feel like this could very much be playing out for them. And then I'm also getting Temperance. I'm getting like any of the negative energy that was sent your way, okay, through words, you've been able to alchemize, turn into gold. It's like taking lead and turning it into gold. It's like taking your pain and suffering and turning it into power, sovereignty, and self-empowerment. All right, so it's like liberation, baby. Feel like justice is playing out for the pain and suffering and betrayal that you have experienced at the hands of this energy. Okay, they very much could be dealing with legal issues at this time as it relates to their conflicts, their contracts. Okay, that's the Four of Swords. You have judgment and justice here. All right, so there is some sort of like having to go within and see exactly why something continues to play out in the way that it plays out. It's like a self-realization. There's a need for transformation here. And sometimes, you know, dealing with our responsibilities and accountabilities through the justice system might be the way in which somebody goes through a wake-up call. Okay, I'm getting a wake-up call. Okay. Yeah, there's a moon here. Four of Pentacles. Whatever someone thought was stable, secure, and materially abundant was false. It was an illusion. Okay, they fell for some sort of fantasy. Okay, I feel like there's news about someone reaping what they have sown, okay, and making bad investments. Okay, so this could be public news. All right, I feel like Two of Wands. I feel like there was a choice in love. There was many choices to make, and maybe somebody got a little bit greedy. Maybe somebody got a little bit ahead of themselves, okay? They had a direction to take, and I feel like the path they chose was one that led them to a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of loss. Five of Cups. I feel like they went one direction, you may have gone another. And as a result, like, you've healed these relationships here. Like, you're no longer holding on to the past and the loss of it. I have a Seven of Cups and a Queen of Wands. I'm getting this Queen of Wands is, you know, certainly empowered and will have many opportunities to create. Okay, this Queen of Wands could have some sort of like public platform. This could be a masculine as well. I'm just getting someone in their like very sovereign, creative energy, and it could be seen from afar. So something online or to that effect. There also could have been a Queen of Wands creating illusions for somebody as a form of distraction from their path, their enlightened path. Someone made a decision in love and somebody was following a fantasy. Okay, it could have been with fire sign, which is that Queen of Wands. Okay, what else do we have here? The Empress. All right, so upright in the Empress energy. Nine of Swords. Yeah, you're taking up space. I feel like they're reminiscing. There's a lot of swords here that continue to play in this person's mind as it relates to you. I feel like there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety. And then I have a Nine of Cups. I feel like your wishes and dreams are coming true, and the partner that you seek is seeking you. Okay, Empress energy. All right, so you're in the energy of attracting. You're not chasing anybody. I feel like there's an opportunity coming your way. It could lead to adventure. It could lead to travel. It could lead to a collaboration or being part of a team and working towards creating a better place for us to all be. Okay, which is beautiful. And it might be through some sort of relationship. They may, you may have some common interests in which you can create something. The threes talk about like co-creation. I have an Ace of Cups. Okay, look at how beautiful. I love this. Is my favorite Ace of Cups card. It's like sitting in front of the fountain and just being like so immersed in your environment and your reality, and knowing that like what you imagine is what is your experience? It's like, what do you want to experience in life? It's like, you know, put out all your wishes and dreams. Like maybe you have some sort of coin that you might want to throw into this fountain. And I feel like you have this abundance of love and you're meant to share it. Okay. You're meant to be in this loving energy. Okay. So you create from a place of love. You may speak some sort of truth. This is you being in your authentic energy and having very strong boundaries. Okay, Queen of Swords. Okay. You might receive like divine messaging here. All right, you might share guidance. You might share advice. You might be someone who's very strategic. Okay, and you can see things from a much higher perspective. Okay, we have guidance here. And you might share direction. Because we also have like this more, the birds, divine messages. All right, the Magician. Okay, again, like alchemy. All right, you're an alchemist. You're a manifester. Okay, you've mastered your physical reality here. You've learned some very important skills. Okay, and you may become, at one point you were the student, now you've become the teacher. You might be showing others how to do this for themselves. So in that way, you're sharing your gifts, you're sharing yourself, you're sharing your most authentic energy. You have strong boundaries for yourself. You're in alignment. You're providing guidance. You're in your sovereignty. You don't back down from a challenge. You understand there's opposition. And that doesn't stop you. In fact, that empowers you. You have mastered a lot here. Like the Magician has access to all the tools, the resources, right? Yeah. This is that accomplishment, okay? This is that like integration. This is you being seen, heard, respected, supported. You've reached this level of expertise. And it's like, now it's time for you to share yourself. No more hiding. Okay, no more hiding. You can't hide anymore, okay? Regardless of what others think or say about you, you now know it does not matter and it does not affect your actual reality, okay? So, you know, look at, yeah, there's an energy here that feels some sort of way. Page of Cups, about maybe how you are now versus maybe where you were. I feel like they didn't appreciate you when they had you in their life in some capacity. I feel like they prioritized appearances. They prioritized, you know, their future and their finances and how things will look. And, you know, you're a lot more, you know, deeper than that. Okay. They may have tried to really, you know, like affect you in some sort of way that would leave a mark, like you be marked. Okay. It's like marked for dead, like your character, your reputation. If you own a business, they attacked your business. They may have paid people to stalk you, defame you, gang stalk, scam. Okay. Yeah, you guys have been through it, that's for sure. All right, High Priestess. Yeah, this was something that was hidden from you until you were able to connect to your higher self. This experience initiated you and taught you all kinds of things, okay? I feel like you've been the student, you've been learning, come to find out, like, you have access to all this hidden wisdom and knowledge, and now you're applying what you've learned. You've integrated this. This could be a high priest or high priestess. Yeah, I feel like you were able to use your spiritual abilities and your connection to spirit to get all the information you need regarding this King of Pentacles. Someone that tried to take you out, okay? I feel like the truth is coming out, and there's movement, there's progress here. I do have a Chariot, okay? This could be you creating some sort of stability and security for yourself as a result of this energy, your ability to tap into the unseen, unknown, the hidden, the intuition, the subconscious. I have a Nine of Pentacles. I have a High Priestess, King of Pentacles, the Chariot, Nine of Pentacles. Let's see what the next card is. It's like someone didn't see something in you. It's like you had it in there the whole time. They were just so busy on focusing on everything else that they didn't see you. They slept on you. In the meantime, like, you're in your own lane and you're doing it. You're getting it done. You're succeeding at whatever you have created, all right? And I feel like you do use your intuition, all right? I feel like you may have gone from being in a difficult situation, all right, and having to rebuild. I feel like you've done that rebuilding and you used your intuition, your abilities to do so. And it's like they're somehow like upset about this. There's some sort of challenge or opposition. And it's because they're realizing that they missed out. People slept on you. That's the real deal. All right, I have the Star and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the days are over, all right, of you worried about what coulda, shoulda, woulda. I feel like you're focused on creating a new reality. You're focused on healing. You're focused on anchoring peace, hopefulness, love, and having this spiritual awareness. And you're meant to share it and guide others on your path, okay? What you've learned, you're meant to share it in some capacity, okay? I feel like people are watching. People are paying attention. There's news, there's information, there's adventure even. You could be doing some energy healing abroad. You could be called to visit certain places, okay? There could be things that you're closing out in order for a new beginning to happen. I feel like you're not meant to be on the path with everybody else. Like, you veered off the path and you're meant to. You were directed by spirit to do what you need to do. Okay, I feel like let them experience what they need to experience, going in the direction that they're going. You're going in a different direction, and it's a big coordinated effort. I feel like not always are you going to have the support, okay, but you have spirit support, okay? You have the confidence, the courage, the strength to overcome and persevere, okay? I feel like here's that offer, here's that new creation here. All right, there's something coming in that, you know, is going to, like, this is the ending, and then this is like a beginning, and it's for an Empress. And it's as a result of your transformation, like, it's like accepting the inevitable, like accepting your experience for what it is, and then seeing, you know, what was there for you to heal from. I have the Five of Pentacles. It had a lot to do with your worth and value, and whether you saw it in yourself or whether other people saw it. I feel like that was the underlining thing. I feel like, you know, at one point you were in the Five of Pentacles, now you're in the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like this is what you're going to be sharing, a legacy with someone who's going to value you, and you value you as well as them. It's reciprocal. It's matching energy. It's focused on long-term goals, not short-term. It's like somebody wanted to win at the short game, okay? Two of Pentacles. I feel like, you know, this is a bit of like cause and effect. There may need to be a new direction taken in order to accomplish something here when it comes to this collaboration. Again, like, I'm getting like adventure, new directions, new experiences, like taking a chance and going after it. So this might require you to go from like a comfort zone to something that might challenge you. This is like, you're going to be challenged in this next season. Okay. I feel like you're up for the challenge. And I'm getting like whatever you're working towards is paving the way for those that come after you. It's like you're thinking about the bigger picture. You're thinking about the bigger impact. You're thinking about like, how can I make a difference in the world? How can I, you know, share what I've learned to help those that come after me, whether it's in your family or not. I feel like you're loyal. You're looking to, you know, have this beautiful exchange with those that you resonate with, those that have the same goals in life. Okay, I feel like you're going to be sharing the same goals with this energy, and I feel like this is a wish and dream come true. And I feel like you did the hard work to be in this, right? So I feel like you can feel like this is for you, right? There's this like, here's that opposition, by the way. All right, here's the opposition. I feel like you healed from codependency. You healed from those who want to take advantage. I feel like you have remained in some sort of energy that has allowed them to be accountable and responsible for what they created in their own energy. It may have been projected towards you, but I feel like this is energy that is dealing with their karma at this time. All right. I feel like they're being betrayed. They're being backstabbed. Things are falling apart for them. I feel like there's dark energy here that is manipulating and controlling the situation. And, you know, there's some sort of dynamic here where there's like a breakup. I feel like somebody could have come after your business, or someone did something for money. All right, there's burden here. There's obstacles here, and there's protection here with the King of Swords. I feel like somebody didn't appreciate what they had when they had it. They were too busy entertaining other options and being a Casanova. And so you let them choose what they wanted to choose. They chose everybody else over their family, and you release this, okay? Because you know that you deserve something that is going to prioritize you and your family. You're not accepting less than you deserve. And so you have surrendered this, all right? This is where you have protection. This is where your boundaries come in. You understand that this person wears a mask and they're giving to others on the side, okay? You're not interested. You're not interested in them showing up at your place and asking for money, okay? Or a handout or support or something. I feel like, you know, they could cover it up as like, oh, you know, I went through this, this, and this. Can you help me? I feel like, you know, it's too late for that, what I'm getting. I feel like you're prioritizing your peace. I feel like you're victorious. You've overcome these challenges. I feel like they need to be accountable for what they invested in and where they put their energy, and it was with somebody else. They chose somebody else. Let them be with someone else. Let them figure it out with someone else. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's something far better for you. And I feel like with this Knight of Pentacles, I'm getting like, it's going to be worth the wait. Okay. I'm getting an Emperor here. You're an Empress. All right. So I feel like, you know, they made unwise investments with the Queen of Cups. I feel like they thought that they were going to win in the situation. I feel like somebody wanted to take what you had and create it for themselves, therefore thinking that they would have your divine favor by doing so. And I'm getting like all they did was find themselves in the same situation that they put you in, because they're dealing with this. They're dealing with this, and they're dealing with this. The Tower and the Three of Swords. Yeah. This Emperor is on their way. I have the Emperor, the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. 8, 8. 8. 8. Okay. And yeah, so that's relevant. 8, 8. 8, 8, 8. I feel like the best thing you ever did for yourself, the best decision you ever made, was to move away from this energy. Here's another 8. 8, 8, 8. All right, so I feel like the best decision you ever made was to choose you, okay, and to prioritize you, and to not settle for less than, and to leave the pain and suffering of the past behind, choose peace, and move on, okay? Moving on towards victory and success, okay? This is an ending, accepting the inevitable and understanding like this was truly for your highest and greatest good. I feel like you're attracting your divine partner, whether that's in business or love. I feel like your abilities that you have learned to, like you've learned how to connect, to help others as well as yourself. I feel like however you do that, okay, is your blessing, okay, and your divine birthright. So it's like a reminder to, you know, you are a sovereign being of light, and you're here to co-create. And through this process, you've been able to be your most authentic self and, you know, have boundaries. All right. For those who, you know, you were around that, you know, wear the false mask, or you had to wear a mask in front of them because you were afraid of like some sort of persecution. I am getting that like you were persecuted by this energy or whoever they were around. And there was an energy that came after you. They challenged your authority. They challenged your position. Come to find out you're a benevolent being of light. Okay. You're sovereign, you're empowered, you receive divine guidance and you share it. Okay. You have liberated yourself from whatever contract this was. You've been through some sort of very difficult cycle. I feel like you're in alignment now, regardless of the turmoil. You came out better on the other side. I feel like it's time to celebrate your success, okay? This is an ending of a really big chapter. And, you know, they're feeling bad because they didn't end up where they thought they were going to end up, okay? I think they thought that they were going to end up in this energy, but you're the one in this energy. You're the one that did the work. They tried to steal the work. They tried to say that it was theirs and it was truly yours. There was this calculating, manipulating, narcissistic behavior that you dealt with. And yes, you had to cut them off. You needed to become free and clear of their energy, and you did a great job doing so. You received divine guidance on how to navigate this difficult situation. All right, you're staying true to yourself. You're focusing on what brings you joy and happiness, and you're leaving the deceptive con artists energies that, you know, want to take advantage of others to one another. Like, you made your bed, now go lie in it. Okay, there's like a contract here that maybe they didn't read the fine print of. All right, so I'm getting like they're now needing to deal with that, and it's not your contract, so don't get involved. Okay, yeah, not your contracts. All right, you guys, that is our divine messages for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and I will see you on the next one.